Okay, so here we are, and it looks like lockdown is starting to ease up a bit. There are queues outside the shops today. It's Monday, and I find myself thinking, I hope that some of the really good things that have come out so far in our behaviours don't get lost in a sudden tidal wave of return. I can hear schools out. I can hear that the kids are playing the playground nearby. There've been a few aeroplanes across, and I'm just thinking of some of the really wonderful things that have happened in the last few weeks. Like in one of the little streets nearby, there's a complete mix of age groups, nationalities, ethnicities, such a mix. And over the last 8 weeks, they formed a WhatsApp group, and people who had run out of bread or flour, or perhaps they're having a problem with their laptop, all the neighbors just been pitching in and just saying, oh, I'll drop one round, I'll leave something on your doorstep, I'll help out, I know how to do that. And it's been wonderful. And one of the neighbors then said, when all this is over, we'll have to have a party because I don't know what any of you look like. And I thought, well, that's very interesting, because I wonder if perhaps you did know what they look like, you would still be being quite as friendly or quite as open as you have been. There's the little old lady who goes out in her slippers to do the bins on a Sunday night. I wonder how many people would think, oh, I must talk to her in a hurry. Then there's the doctor's wife. And then there's someone with a really smart 4x4 and someone on a scooter. I mean, it's such a mix. And I wonder if they go out of their way to talk to someone, talk to any of those people, if they knew what they look like, because we make so many snap decisions. And, there's that old hackneyed saying, you only have one chance to make a first impression. And we all make those impressions as we go along. And people have had bubbles way before Boris said we could have a bubble, or we could have two bubbles, or as many bubbles as you like. We've all lived in our bubbles. And I'm just hoping that some of those bubbles kind of pop and people stay spread out and enjoying each other and recognizing what's in each other that's there to share and enjoy, rather than having to wait to be introduced. It would be such a pity if all that got left behind. And then I found myself thinking, well, we've got some really clever people that are employed by government to recognize people, even in the heaviest disguises, people who are perhaps criminals, people who are trying to get away with things, get through customs. And these very few people can recognize and see through disguises 30 years later, in a completely different circumstance. They'll remember, yep, I saw that person and I saw them in this place that time and they were doing that, and that person is identified. And that's an extraordinary gift. And I think that in all the speed and hubbub of the life that we were living before lockdown, we lost a lot of our own sense of identifying other people because we were just too busy. And we were saying things to ourselves like, oh, I'll make a point of talking to them tomorrow because I'm a bit busy now. I've got to go and catch the children, got to go and do this, got to go and do that. None of those things had to be done, but you just felt a social imperative to fit as many things into the day as you could, because we'd all just got into that habit. And if you wanted to see someone's child, oh, well, they were booked up for days in advance, tea parties, this, that, after school lessons, too busy to socialize, far too busy to have a casual encounter. So I'm just thinking, I hope that in the very near future, we don't suddenly slip back into that, I'll talk to them another time, I won't fit it in now. Because some of the people I've been speaking to, even though they don't enjoy Zoom, even though they don't enjoy Teams, even though they don't enjoy their screen, are nevertheless felt as if they're being more included now in society than they have ever been before. Perhaps because they weren't a couple, and couples always invite other couples. And if you're a one, you're a bit awkward. So we won't invite them round, not that evening. So then they get put to the bottom of the list because couples are more convenient to have around a table than singletons, unless you're having a singleton night. But perhaps you don't have as many of those. So all the silly little superficial reasons why people get included or excluded. I hope that when we stop being locked down, those same people, or all those people that we can enjoy the company of, and all those people who have something very special to share, but perhaps not the loudest voice. I hope we, when we stop being locked down, don't find ourselves inadvertently and very carelessly locking some of these very special people out. So that's what I found myself thinking today. Talk to you soon.